Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. Morning, Scotty.
Morning.
Anyway, Josh was off with a personal issues this weekend from that part. So Scotty's joining me again.
That means we get to have fun.
Well, last time was kind of fun, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, we had a good time.
So, hey, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Only show and know you get paid to call in on. And we want to hear from you. We'd love to answer your questions. Anything in the automobile world, tires, brakes, batteries, anything like that part. And as always, you get a $130 package for each and every caller. $130 just for a couple minute phone call.
Heck yeah. I'm in.
Pretty good paying, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Scotty, I know you can, but I got to put you on the spot.
Of course you do. You always do.
What's in the package?
We got an oil change. We've got MOA. We've got $10 to Mel's Diner. Nitrogen for your tires. And I'm missing one. What's the one I'm missing? Oh, no, that's not it. Gosh dang it. You got me on the spot. I think you got me. What's the one I'm missing?
I read it first one. It's not MOA.
Oh, what are we putting in?
44K.
44K.
And then a CF5.
Oh, that's right. I should have known that.
So then did you get the $10 to Mel's Diner?
I did. I got that one. Nitrogen for your tires.
And then how about, did you get the owner's Ford Pass points?
That's what I didn't get.
There we go.
There you go.
So there's the $130 package for each and every caller. Anybody calling anything in your car, it's alien to your car, don't understand something, want to talk about new products or whatever, and love to hear from you. 316-462-3673. That's the number. Dial in right to the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get patched to the podcast. We'll get you patched into your trusted phone, and we'll get you on the air here and hear what's going on in your mind from that part. So, Scotty, it's been an exciting week in the service department. Things have been pretty crazy busy and everything else like that. Did you have anything that just jumped out at you that, you know, we can help the listeners learn from? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I wrote this one down right when I came in this morning. I had a bad situation with a customer that went to another place to get a certain issue fixed. They had their air conditioning that was blowing hot air, and especially right now we got temperatures are changing. We're now starting to get into the summer weather. We're starting to turn on our air conditioning, right?
Yeah.
And that is always going to be the time when you find out that your air conditioning is blowing hot air.
Right? Something broke over the winter or something.
That's correct.
Part or something happened.
Right. And so what ended up happening is it was, excuse me, the AC compressor locked up. And so they got an aftermarket AC compressor, had a buddy install the AC compressor, and that was all they replaced. And so they then go about a month and a half after installing that AC compressor. Can you guess what actually happened not long after?
That compressor went out again.
You sure bet it did.
Yes,
it sure bet it did.
Probably not the fault of the compressor, though.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. There's a lot of reasons why whenever you end up having that particular issue, that there are other things that need to be replaced, and it can save you a lot of money in the long run and a lot of headache.
So basically, your compressor is like another motor, like your engine that you're running in your car, and it has cylinders in it, has pistons in it, and when a compressor locks up, it's like your engine locking up, and it throws metal everywhere.
Correct.
So if you just take for example, on an engine, if you just take it out, an engine locked up, you just take it out and put another one in, but you forget to clean the cooler lines, all this stuff that goes into that part. Or if you got a turbo, you don't replace the turbo and that sort of thing. The metal has scattered everywhere. And that's what's happened in that gentleman's situation.
Correct.
That metal scattered throughout the whole system. As that compressor just didn't lock up and break, it gradually started getting bad. And it started getting bad because I bet you money it never had any preventative maintenance.
You're probably right. You're probably right. It had never been here before, so I don't have the history on it. But
I'm going to guess it is. But anyway, your AC system has oil in it, just like your engine does, to lubricate the compressor. But it also helps pick up the Freon helps pick the oil up and move it throughout the whole AC system.
Right.
So that metal was just scattered at that car, wasn't it?
Yep. Sure was. Found it in all kinds of the AC system in that car.
Yeah. So basically now then let's go through what had to happen again, because now it's a double repair.
Yeah, it is.
But the second repair is more because we can't just go put another compressor on it again.
Right.
That metal that was scattered throughout there went in and ate that compressor up. So really it's probably got more metal in it now than what it had before.
Right. And it normally always goes to the accumulator.
Okay, let's explain what accumulator is.
Well, I mean, this in particular was the condenser and the accumulator in
one unit.
One unit, yeah.
Yeah, so the accumulator keeps your system dry, because you cannot, you're going to get moisture in your AC system, but you don't want that moisture. That's not good on everything. The accumulator basically keeps your Freon dry, the oil dry, and all that kind of stuff, but it's also a big container kind of a situation where it
Right.
can store a lot of stuff in there, and that's where that metal's going to set.
It's called the accumulator for a reason.
Exactly. So now then, Scotty, to go back through that repair, got to start over. You got to take the compressor off.
Yeah. Compressor's off, accumulator dryer, and the orifice tube is another one that a lot of people forget about, but it's a big ordeal, and it's a lot of brain damage, especially if you do ever get into that situation. You know, just be careful. It's a bad thing to go through. It's definitely a bad thing to go through twice.
Okay, now just don't get to the penny or whatever, but what did that repair cost?
$2,000.
$2,000.
$2,000. Yeah.
Okay, so now then, what I'm going to back into here for a minute is preventative maintenance.
Yeah.
From that part, and here's where I'm going to go with that for a minute. Your AC system needs to have a preventative maintenance done on it, just like changing your oil in your engine,
correct,
transmission fluid, power steering fluid, your rear end gears, that sort of thing. It needs to be replaced. It has maintenance on it too. So I recommend once a year to do an AC service. So the next thing is about an AC service is back in my day when I was wrenching on a car, Scotty.
Oh yeah, back when they were pushing cars with their feet.
You're funny.
Yeah,
you're real funny.
Hey, that's what I mean.
Cars would take 4, maybe sometimes 6 pounds of Freon.
Yeah,
and that was the old R12 Freon, and they basically outlawed that Freon because it's harmful to the atmosphere or whatever it is.
Yeah, and back then the compressors
were huge. Yeah.
Now they're so much smaller as well.
Yeah. So anyway, nowadays the systems might hold a pound, sometimes less than a pound of Freon. So if you lose just a little bit of Freon, it can't pick that oil up and run it through there. But then the next crucial thing, back in my day, you could overcharge or undercharge at a half a pound. Shoot, the thing would still be working fine.
Yeah, it'd work fine.
If you undercharge or overcharge one of these systems today with 1/10 of a pound, it's not going to work correctly.
Correct.
It's not going to pick that oil up and move it through the system and lubricate it and everything else too. So by doing that, it's going to be more crucial for that AC service.
Yeah.
And I say once a year, have it serviced. And basically what that amounts to is, let's go back next is to measure that amount of Freon accurately to put it into the system. I mean, because if your system isn't accurate at what you're doing, the technician could be, if he doesn't have proper equipment, he could tell the machine to put in 1.1 pounds.
Right.
But does it actually put in 1.1 pounds?
Right.
How accurate is that scale reading that to put that Freon in the system?
That's exactly what I was going to say, because you know what they came out with in the early 2000s that everybody goes and tries to do if they have an AC issue? It's those self-chargers that they go out and they buy, that they hook up to one of the high line and try to charge the system up, and they end up charging the system up and end up having all kinds of issues after they do that as well. So that's another thing that you got to be careful with. I mean, they make that kind of stuff for convenience, but a lot of times it's actually kind of it's probably not a good idea.
Hey, guess what? We got a caller already.
Oh, do we?
We got some funny comments coming on the text line on my phone here. We'll have to get to that here in just a minute.
Okay.
Somebody wants to be funny here or whatever. So we're going to get Murray on the phone.
Murray, bring it on. I'm the funny guy. I'm supposed to be the guy making jokes.
We'll get Murray coming through the phone here real quick. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to my text. We're talking about these AC systems. So anyway, we have the proper, I shouldn't say proper equipment, the best equipment to measure that Freon correctly when you do an AC service. So basically, how we do a service is we will take and pull the Freon out.
Yep.
And the reason we do that, we want to know what we take out.
That's a good point. You want to know how much was in there before you started doing the service.
Hey, let's go to the phones.
Okay, let's do it.
Murray, you're live with Under the Hood. Go ahead. Murray, there? Murray. Huh.
Yeah.
There you are.
There you are.
Yeah, Phil. It's Larry.
Oh, it's Larry.
Larry.
Okay. They text Murray, so sorry about that, Larry. Larry, how are you?
Hey, pretty good, Phil. I got a couple things here. First one is I've got a 2008 Lexus GX 470, okay?
Uh-huh.
And the car runs absolutely perfect, 180,000 miles. But I've been chasing a check engine lights for probably a couple of years. It comes on probably about, late fall. And you'll be on the whole time. And then about May, June, it goes out. I know that sounds really weird, but that's what it does.
Not particularly.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't sound weird.
No, I've heard of that kind of stuff before. What year, make and model did you say it was?
It's a 2008 Lexus GX470.
GX470. Okay.
So have you been chasing
that's what
it?
it does.
What if you've been chasing it?
for-
What have you been doing?
Well, I went to AutoZone and O'Reilly's and we pull the codes. It's the same thing every time.
What code is it?
Every time. It's a P1442 or something like that. It speaks to these let's see, what do they call them? It says stuck closed on both of them. There's two of them. They sit on the starboard side of the engine. They're interchangeable. And I've swapped those things. I've done everything. It doesn't make any difference what I do. It's still the same code.
Yeah. So basically, Larry, here's what I'm going to tell you. When you go to O'Reilly's or you go to AutoZone, and I appreciate these guys trying to help customers get the cars fixed and that sort of thing, but they're attaching to your AL, well, I call it the ALDL connector. That's been my definition back in the day, but it's really, now it's called the OBD2 connector.
Right.
When they attach that in, they're doing a code read. Okay. Today, with the way they scan, when you need a scanner to read that code, that's going to give you a generic code. When you do a code reader, it's going to give you an idea.
Yeah.
It's not going to give you the
very
exact code that's going on with that car.
It's going to tell you where to start looking.
So now the next thing is, even though the description of the code says whatever stuck open, that doesn't mean that part has failed. It means that there's something that's making that part not function like it needs to. And it could be just a simple connection. It could be a wiring issue. It could be that part, or it could be another whole nother part or a whole nother sensor or a whole nother part situation going on in that car that triggers that code, but it's really something else triggering that code. So you can't just go off what that description of that code says and say, I need that part. But that's what happens at AutoZone O'Reilly's. They pull that code in and they says, oh, it's an EGR problem. Here's your new EGR valve.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I'm going to bet you when you got an EGR code like that and it says an EGR valve, it's not the EGR
valve.
Right, exactly. You've been down that road,
it's
right?
not, yeah.
So what we really need to
way
do,
this
Larry,
is-
we need to have that Lexus come in here and let us put a scanner in it, scan the code. Then what we need to do is go to the, well, we're on every one of our technicians has a laptop and they have online manuals, and go through the trouble tree of diagnosing why that's setting that code, not just because that's what the description says it is.
Right.
But go step through each step and say, it'll tell you, what to check, what to do, and it'll tell you yes or no, back and forth. And then I will still tell you, even though the code will tell you the flow down through the chart tells you that's this, sometimes it'll come up and say, no, the problem not intermittent, or the technician's got to be smart enough to know how he's checking that flow chart to know that, hey, maybe the problem isn't exactly right now, but what can we do to find, to reduplicate the issue from that part. So it's not an easy fix anymore like it used to be. Back in my day when the computers came back in the mid 80s and you had a code 13, that was an oxygen extension. I promise you, every time it needed an oxygen extension with a code 13 there, because that was, back then the computers would only hit a failure. It had to be failed to give that. Now we have codes that are coming in there that can detect deterioration. So we have 4-digit codes instead of just 2-digit codes. And a 21, if you had a 21, it was, I promise you, the throttle position sensor is out of it.
Uh-huh.
If you had so those codes were 2-digit. So that worked back in the day. It doesn't work today to put a code reader in there. But I appreciate what AutoZone and O'Reilly's are trying to do to help people to try to maybe get, could you have got lucky that part did fix the thing? It can't happen. But in your situation, you're chasing that thing for 2 years. You don't have it fixed yet.
Right.
Oh, it just,
go ahead.
It seems like it's an atmospheric issue. Why does it come on when the fall and the cooler weather comes? And then why does it go off like in about May? You can just count on it's going to go off and it'll stay off. So it's atmosphere conditions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely it does. I can actually give you a really good example. I had kind of a very similar situation, and it was a Focus. It was like I want to say it was like a 2008 Ford Focus or something like that. They had a very similar code, and it ended up being because the air intake gasket was leaking.
Okay.
And so when it was really hot outside,
it's sealed.
But when it got cold,
it wouldn't seal.
It wouldn't seal. And
Yeah.
so that was the whole deal, was that check engine light would come on during the colder weather, but in the hotter weather, it wouldn't, because it would expand in the hotter weather and seal up that intake. So yeah, what you're describing actually makes really good sense. And we just have, like we could definitely get it in, get it figured out for you, and get it handled. Because I'm guessing with that code, you're probably losing fuel economy, even though it's running fine.
Yep.
You don't even realize it. And the longer that you are doing it with that light on, because it sees an issue and you're losing fuel economy, you're dumping fuel, you could actually take out other parts to where that one check engine light code that you have, now you're going to end up having several others, because it's going to take out other parts.
Yeah.
So be careful with that.
Yeah. Very true. So Larry, we're going to add a diagnostic on her. Let's get that Lexus in here. I'll have Scotty call you after the show and schedule an appointment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we'll figure out what's going on.
My next issue, I've got a 2010 F-150.
Okay.
It's not four-wheel drive. Okay. Every time I stop and turn, I make it just a regular turn right or left, I get this shudder. It's just kind of like, and then in the morning, this is crazy. When I started up and I back out of the driveway, it just goes, just shakes the whole truck almost, like it's binding up.
I got an idea. I know what that is.
I was getting ready to say, I do too.
Well, I think it's clutch packs.
That's exactly
what it is.
It's just your clutch packs and the rear differential.
Rear differential.
So
okay, now let's go a little further. I've been told that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've gotten an estimate of about $800 to do that.
Okay.
And one guy said, well, we just added a can of atomizer to the rim and took care of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I said, well, that didn't on mine, because I've had that serviced and it didn't fix it. In fact, it seems like it's almost worse, but it didn't fix it. So if it's the clutch pack, and then I was online reading a Ford gripe site, and they were talking about it, and 2 or 3 guys says, yeah, change the clutch packs, it fixed it, but it's going to come back. 2 guys said that it still came back later. So what do I do if you guys change those clutch packs? Are you going to warranty that?
Of course, yes, we warrant
Absolutely.
everything. We warrant everything to do. And Larry, here's what I'm going to say.
Back,
you first said it right when you said the gripe sites. Yep. That's what I believe all those are. It's somewhere for people to get behind a keyboard and gripe about somebody else's products or whatever from that part.
Right.
Okay, so if this was a major problem and always came back or whatever, granted it's 2010, so Ford's not worried about it from that part. Ford would have done something about it or changed the situation of that deal. So what's really happening there? Hold on. But what's really go ahead.
Ford put a technical bulletin out about this very thing.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. And remember, bulletins are to help technician diagnose trucks. They're not to extend warranties or say there's a failed part or they did something wrong. Bulletins are out there to help technicians repair cars. Everybody gets that confused. I think Ford puts out a bulletin, or whoever, even a GM, or puts out a bulletin, and all of a sudden now it's got to be a warranted situation. That's not what bulletins are for. Bulletins are to help technicians diagnose trucks, fix trucks, do whatever from that part.
And they're also to help a customer, because the other thing is that if there's a technical service bulletin out for a particular vehicle and you have a particular symptom, and I mean, we don't, but a lot of shops will charge diagnosis fees. And so if you have a symptom with a particular vehicle and there's a bulletin out, it saves a customer money on time for the technician to diagnose it. That's just another point.
Another point there too. So here's what I'm going to tell you, Larry. The reason why they probably come back, I'll bet you those guys in those gripe sessions didn't repair the clutches correctly or install them correctly.
That's exactly
when it came back. Number two, how soon did it? Number two, how soon did it come back? Because if they don't maintain these clutches and sort of thing and change your rear differential fluid and add an additive in there to help that, then it's going to come back. You bet it is. Over time, it's going to come back. So how quick did it come back or whatever?
Then you got points, or maybe they just didn't do it right. The first time around.
And Larry, can I tell you how many times I've run into situations where other repair shops have done things and come in here and we check it over and come to find out people are mad and everything else with the car. Well, guess what? It was a previous shop that didn't do a correct.
It's such a can of worms. It's not fun.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the issue comes into here from that part. So what on your truck, has the fluid been changed and has it had not an atomizer, whatever, but a BG makes a great product. Go ahead.
I just had it done 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay. So what did you
Brand
put
new.
in
It was Elverine.
Okay.
Just
with an atomizer.
What do you mean an atomizer? I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a special additive for the clutch plaques.
From Valvoline?
Clutch pack. Well, it was the Valvoline fluid, but there's that extra, what is that stuff called that you put in for the clutch pack?
Whose product is it?
I'm not sure. It might have been Ford.
Well, that's what we need to know.
Yeah.
I think it was.
But the other thing is that if you already have damaged parts and you put some kind of an additive in there that has a cleaning agent to try and clean that up, it's going to make it worse.
Yep.
You understand that?
If you let it go so long, it made it get really bad.
Right. So let's say the damage has already been done in those clutch packs and you put a cleaning agent that takes all of that debris that is somewhat kind of keeping things together, and you then clean all of that out, and now it's just rough surfaces and stuff like that. It's going to be worse.
Yeah, it's going to be worse.
It's going to be way worse.
Basically, what I was saying is we let it go too far before an additive is going to take care of it.
Right.
That's what's happening.
I tell you, it almost feels like after I had that changed, it almost feels worse.
Yeah, it probably is.
Scotty's exactly correct on that.
The whole truck just shudders when you go in reverse.
Yeah.
Then it clears out.
Yeah.
And the rest of the day, everything seems to be pretty normal. But boy, the first thing in the morning, it just feels like it locks up.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
And it all comes back to, again, whenever you ask the question, and it's a good question, which is, would you warranty it? The cool thing is if you get Ford parts, it's 2 years unlimited mileage, parts and labor. Right. So if you have the same issue within 2 years, you pay nothing. Aftermarket parts is a different story. Normally it's 12 months, 12,000 miles, and they only warranty the part.
No labor.
So you end up paying the labor anyways. So that's another thing. Now, granted, as far as getting it in and diagnosing, absolutely, you need to definitely do that and actually look and see what the damage is before you just start putting on clutches. But at the same time, whenever you have those particular issues, and that's why we are as good as we are. But if you get into those situations and it comes back, absolutely, if we can justify it, we will definitely warranty that service.
Yep. So you need to bring it to us, Larry, and let's take the rear differential apart and look at the clutches and look at it. See you might be so bad now that the case is worn or the pinion bearings are worn or something.
Yeah,
anything can be worn now.
The longer you go, the worse it's going to get.
Yeah.
Sure. So what are we talking here money-wise?
We have to look at it.
Till we look at it, Larry, there's no clue. Someone giving you an estimate, $800. I hate to tell you, I don't know how they give you an estimate without taking that differential apart and see what's going on inside that car.
Yep.
Can't do it. You can't give somebody an estimate correctly that's going to fix your problem until you inspect it and see what's going on inside that rear end. Someone can see through metal. See what's going on.
That estimate over the phone from anywhere else is to get you in the door and then hit you with the real price every single time. That's why when we do a diagnosis, we don't charge. We diagnose it and give you down to the exact penny of what it's going to cost, and we go from there.
Yep.
Okay. So they can see that once they pull that cover off and drain it out, they can feel pretty quick if there's any damage, I guess.
That's correct. Yep. But it's got to happen, Larry, to know exactly what's going to take to fix the truck. Is that differential cover's got to come off, and who knows? And it might even be that we got to pull the axles and pull the actual carrier out of the differential to inspect it too.
Yeah. Well, it's got 206,000 miles on it, so
quite a bit.
Yeah, it's went a long ways, boy. Them clutches, if it's
they did a pretty good job.
200,000 miles, not bad, huh?
Yeah.
That's not bad for that mileage.
No, that's pretty good.
Larry, you remind me back in my day when I was wrenching on cars, we was overhauling motors and all that kind of stuff. Most cars at 80, 90, 100,000 miles, we're throwing them in junkyards, and now we're mad when something doesn't go 200,000.
Right?
Crazy,
isn't that nuts?
Yeah. So anyway, Larry, we need to get in and take a look at it for you, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Phil.
You bet.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
anyway, that's my best part about Larry there. What he said it bestly is the gripe sessions that are out there from that part.
If you're on the internet and you're looking for something to justify your opinion,
you can find everything you want.
It every time.
Exactly. So anyway, morning, Delbert. Robert Kenny joining us live. Robert, thanks for punching in there a little bit. Remember, Robert Kenny wants to get on the show. I told him to come in at 10:05.
That'd be perfect timing for him.
Okay, so let's go back to as we got talking to Larry, let's go back and finish up the AC service, kind of where we was at. And basically we stopped, I believe, at where we take the Freon out of the system.
Yeah.
And so we know how much Freon came out. Meaning, is there a leak?
Right.
And if it comes, let's just throw some easy numbers. Let's say it's a 2-pound system and we pull out 1.9 pounds. Is there a leak?
Yep.
Somewhere. There's a small leak somewhere. Are we going to be able to find that? Probably not.
Probably not.
So now then we're going to put the system into a vacuum. And what we're doing there by that is we're trying to get every bit of moisture that might be in there. Because if there's a little bit of Freon gone, there's a leak, humidity is getting in that system. So we're going to get all the vacuum out of that system.
Right.
Get all the humidity out of that system. And then we're going to charge it back to the exact ounce of Freon by our machines that's going to measure that correctly.
Right.
But then we're also going to top it off with some BG oil and some dye.
Mm-hmm.
Now that dye is going to help.
Pretty important stuff,
isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's going to help us find that 0.1 leak that we can't see today. That we'll be able to find it down the road from where it's at. That's a good quality AC service to help protect your system and not have a $2,000 repair.
So can I ask you an honest question?
Sure.
All right. So let's say we have a vehicle. Let's say it's a 2015, 80,000 miles. How likely is it that you run out of refrigerant in an AC system without a leak?
Can't.
Yeah.
Can't happen. It's going to leak. Well, that's one thing I'll promise you. Every AC system today, even the 24 trucks running off the assembly line, at some point in time in its life, it's going to leak Freon.
100%.
It's going to happen.
100%.
Just because of where the lines flex, where the motor flexes, all that kind of stuff, you're going to have a leak.
Right.
So why not get that thing serviced once a year?
There you go.
Put the engine, add a little bit more oil in to help keep lubricating that compressor to extend its life. Put the dye in there. So when you do have that leak,
yes,
we can find
it. And you made another really good point. Whenever they do the service and they take all of the moisture out of the system, if you want to know how leaks happen, it's because of moisture. When you have moisture in the lines, you end up having deterioration of these parts, and that's what ends up causing it to leak in a lot of cases. I'm not saying every case, but that's the whole point. So the more that you service it, or as consistently as you can service your AC system, so you don't have this $2,000 repair that I was talking about earlier on the show.
I get it.
Yep.
Okay, let's get Daniel coming through the phone here real quick. We'll get him on the line here, see what's on Daniel's mind, what he might have on his question or comment or whatever it might be. Again, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the automobile world, new products, anything from that part, or you just got a comment about what's going on in the automobile world, love to hear from you. 316-462-3673. And here comes Daniel.
You there, Daniel?
Yeah, hello.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Man, it's been a while since we talked there, my favorite.
Oh, my word. Where you been?
Well, I'm homeless in Hutchinson, but anyway, I was gifted a 2000 Dodge Ram Van 2500. And I have two electrical issues that you guys might be able to help me with.
Okay.
All right, the first one is I have one speed on the blower motor, whether it's heater or air conditioning. Could that be in the switch, or could it be in the controller for the motor?
I bet you anything it has something to do with the resistor.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
I said I bet you anything it probably has something to do with the resistor. We'd have to check, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Me too. You've got a resistor that does the different speeds for you. And I bet it's stuck in that one, or the resistors burn out of the other speeds or whatever from that part. But I think Scotty's nailed it on the head. It's probably the resistor.
Okay.
Again, it could be, maybe it still is a wire or something that kind of broke or something too, but I'm still bet it's the resistor.
Yeah.
From that part.
And the other electrical issue is the driver's window will go about halfway down and get stuck. It will not move.
Okay.
So I had to pull the door panel off and get in there with a 3-foot, 1/2-inch drive extension bar. And while I'm pushing the switch up, I'm also pushing on the bottom of the window rail or whatever it's called, that the glass that's in.
Yeah.
The regulator.
Regulator.
Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, my point is, it looks like a cable going from the motor back behind into the regulator and all of that good stuff. And it sounds like it's got sand in it. I mean, it's that kind of grit noise. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out why the window goes halfway down and then basically locks up. What's your
okay? So
thoughts?
if you push it, the window switch up and pry it up, does it go back up?
Yeah.
Okay, but
All
then
right.
if you hit it back down, it goes halfway down and stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
So
locks up.
Yeah.
So I only roll it down maybe 3 or 4 inches, to get a little air going through here.
Mm-hmm.
my opinion there, what's happening is somewhere in one of the guides, either the front guide or the back guide or whatever, is out of adjustment or bound up, or like you said, it's got a gritty sound. It's got a bunch of dirt in it. This needs to be cleaned out of there with some.
Well, this band's been sitting since 2019.
Okay.
And I got it March 22nd. And believe it or not, I got it running in about 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got the 318 Magnum engine. Guys, I love this dog. I'm a Mopar man, but I was raised on Ford. But anyway, this
won't hold that
van is
against you.
awesome. I mean, I didn't hear you.
We won't hold that against you.
Well, I'm 72, guys, and when you was talking earlier at the opening of about the air conditioning and all that,
Oh yeah.
I'm shaking my head up and down because I've seen that happen too many times.
Oh yeah.
People, they just anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, gentlemen, you're not on the radio anymore, so it's hard for me to listen to you on YouTube. That's where I'm at right now.
Sure.
Got you muted.
Well, we appreciate
Are
it.
you on a radio station anywhere?
No,
Not
we're
anymore.
not. We're not. We're just
the
on.
other question's unrelated.
Okay.
I get my government check next week. How much is to get into Salt City Racing April 26th? I want to go to that so bad. By the way, Phil, you did an awesome job of keeping our racetrack open over here.
Oh.
Thank you for your work. And I mean, you busted ass, excuse my language.
That's why we're not on the radio anymore.
Nah, Daniel, you're.
Anyway, how much is the gate fee? I got a budget I go by.
It's $18 to get in, but I might have to just throw you a ticket to get you in. Okay, I think I know somebody that can help you with that. Okay.
Awesome.
The other thing you might do,
Yeah,
you might just listen to Eagle Radio, the 93.1, the 102.9, and then 580 AM. They're giving away 52 pair of tickets, so 100 tickets. I don't know if they've get them all away yet or not. I'll have to check from that part. That's another thing to do too. But Daniel,
normally I listen to BW Radio where you used to be on, and but yeah, I'll switch over to 102.9 to listen.
Yeah, they're giving away tickets. I don't know how they're doing it or what they're doing there, but they are. I gave them 100 tickets to give away.
Wow.
So anyway, Dan, you're right. On that racetrack I came over there to help save a racetrack, and we got a lot of support and everything else too. Excited for next Friday to see the crowds are going to come. Everybody wants to save this racetrack and stuff too. I need their support to get going. We need to really prove to the fair board that they voted correctly to keep that racetrack after the proposal I put together and stuff for them. And there's a whole group of us put this thing working hard on putting this together, Daniel. So I appreciate the comments and tell everybody.
This is my take. We had all these supporters going to the fair board meetings and all that. It's just like voting. You can register to vote and support and all that, but if you don't get your hiney out there, it ain't going to do a darn bit of good. We need the people to attend the race, whether I get a free ticket or I got to pay to get in. You're going to see me there, Phil.
Okay.
Even though I didn't get a chance because I didn't know they had all the meetings, or I would have attended.
Yeah.
I used to race back in the old days, dude.
Yeah.
I had a 61 Ford Starliner with a 500 Cadillac engine bored out to 708. And I had Francis Crowe beat me in Liberal off the line because I did quarter-mile amateur racing.
Yeah.
He beat me with a Chevrolet stock 6-cylinder.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. You know, I'm 17 years old. I'm 17 years old racing on a quarter mile, doing good, and here comes this old skinny guy in a little Nova with a 6-cylinder.
He got you, huh?
That's embarrassing, guys.
It happened.
But anyway,
Anyway.
I'll let you get back to the program. Thank you for taking my call. One way or another, Phil, I'll see you next Friday night.
All right, buddy. Sounds great, Daniel.
You take care, Daniel.
Bye-bye.
Right. All right, let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you and answer your question, whatever. Good to hear from Daniel. I haven't heard from Dan in quite a while. He's over there in Hutch and been there.
Yeah.
When I was working in Hutch and stuff, helped him over there a lot and stuff too. We've done some stuff over here for him too, but he's exactly right. The racetrack is coming next Friday. 7 o'clock. I told Kyler, my promoter, I wanted race cars on the track at 6:55. So there's a lot of people to think about that racetrack. It's not just one person or whatever. There's a lot of people going into play to make this race happen over there. Murphy Tractor and Equipment, bringing all that equipment over there. We've redone the track immensely. We're going to be over there tomorrow, already starting to prep the track, get things ready to go. So Murphy Tractor and Equipment has done a fantastic job of helping us with equipment. Dan and Curtis over there are just fantastic people from that part. Andale Concrete and Ox Materials, they're over there putting a couple more wall panels up. They poured a bunch of wall panels and stuff for us to get the walls redone and everything else too that we need to have from that part. The Hambelton Oil has helped us with some fuel and stuff because we are burning up some diesel fuel, I promise you. Mike Van Genderen, I brought him out of Iowa City, Iowa to help me with the dirt. And Scotty NASCAR put dirt on Bristol. Okay.
No, okay.
And Mike Van Genderen is who they hired to maintain the track. So I think if NASCAR will take care, hire him. I think
you probably do all right with that
picked the right guy here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We got Mike coming over. Mike will fly back in on Thursday morning to help make sure things are going the right way because I want to come out of the gate right on the money with the proper track prep because last time we raced on that track, and again, that's what everybody also needs to understand. We're racing once a month. We can't race once a year and keep that racetrack there. If I'm on the fair board and you ask me to be on there for once a month, one time a year, I can't justify having all that ground set for once a year. So everybody, I need you to be there to show the fair board what we're doing, that you're there to support it. So when I meet with the fair board again in October, that I can get a 3 or 5 year program and then look out for the plans that we have to do over there going forward. But we first got to get this first year under our belt and get things happening. So Evans Building Materials also helping us over there with some of the walls and stuff. And then Construction Rental, they're bringing over a big, a big telehandler we got over there right now. They're also going to provide us with some lights on the back straightaway because I want that back straightaway lit up brighter than it's ever been to help those racers have a great view and be able to see what's going on with that racetrack. I think the track's going to be faster than ever because of what Mike's done with the banking and everything else like that too. So excited for those guys. Zener Electric, Dusty Moore and his crew have come over and got the lights all dialed in. Even the red, green, and yellow lights are dialed in really good this year. So Dusty and his crew can't thank you enough. And Agri Center is bringing us our side-by-sides to keep us running around. But they also provided us with a side-by-side that's for the emergency crew that's going to go between Dodge City and Hutch. So Agri Center there in Hutchinson, thank you for that. Again, Construction Rental is coming. They're in Salina and they're moving to Hutchinson. So very quickly on that part. And then, of course, United Rentals really stepped up and bringing us a cool water truck. And it should be sitting over there right now so we can start throwing water on that racetrack tomorrow evening from that part. So, and then again, I can't thank all the guys from Dodge City, because we're partnering with Dodge City, and they're bringing about 95% of their crews coming from Dodge City to help run the track here
Heck
in
yeah.
Hutch and stuff too. So Friday night, don't be late. Be there. Be ready to go. Bring your friends. Bring everybody. Let's pack these stands. Let's show this fair board that we have got the crowd behind us, the people behind us. Racers, get your cars there. There's going to be a practice Thursday night. We put it out on Salt City Speedway's page already of who gets to practice. There's 30-some cars we're going to put on the track Thursday night, and Mike wants to see that, see how the track's going to do and stuff. But mainly, let's get these racers seeing what the new surface is like.
Let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
So exciting times, exciting funds, and keep getting asked a question. Are you excited? Yeah, I'm very excited. A little nervous too,
Yeah.
But got to be honest about it and stuff on that part too. So everybody, please come over and join us at the fairgrounds next Friday night. Thursday, the practice is not open to the public. That's one of the agreements I had to make with the fair board, that it would just be a racer's deal to go out there. So the front gates and that will not be open from that part on Thursday. You can drive by and hear them screaming around there and stuff like that too. But that's about all we can do there too. So everybody, please get out to the fairgrounds next Friday night, April 26th, for the first race. And we got 5 classes coming out there, so it'll be fun and exciting. Sprint cars too are coming. So, and then of course July 19th and 20th. Put that on your books too. That's when we're bringing the Silver Crown sprint cars to Hutchinson, so it should be pretty cool. So
kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
There you go. Salt City Speedway, Salt City Racing LLC.com, or check us out on our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page, you can get the updates and everything else you need from that part. And tune in to Eagle Radio. They're giving away 50 pair of tickets, and I need to check and see how they've done with that. Been doing it all this week, and see if how they're doing with giving away 52 pairs on all 3 of their radio stations too. So we're going to try to win some free tickets too. Everywhere you can jump on Salt City Racing webpage, and you can buy your tickets, get it in line. And yes, it's a cashless deal, and I'll explain that to everybody too, why it's cashless, because I have to go back to the fair board. I want proof of exactly how many. I'm not going to have a guess. I want to know exactly how many people walked through that gate, and I want to show them, here's the amount of people that came in, and here's the money that went in. It all's going to match, and that's why that is. And if some of you are bent out of shape about it, I'm sorry. You need to understand we got to prove to the fair board why we're doing this, why we need a racetrack, and if this amount of people came through the doors, that's going to help the fair board vote for us to keep that racetrack going on future years from that part. So I hope everybody understands that. I know a couple of people are upset about that, but hey, I can't make everybody happy. But just understand it's to help the fair board, to give them viable, provable reports that shows 3,168 people come through the gate, and there's the money that matches it to prove that's what happened, and that's the amount of people come in. But I need them stands full, people. We need to match. That's kind of like Daniel said, get your hiney out there and let's fill the stands next Friday night, April 26th. So hope everybody's ready. And golly, I forgot another call.
Yep. He's there. Hopefully he's still there.
God dang it.
But
we'll get Bill on the phone here real quick. Sorry, Bill. Wasn't paying attention to my phone. We'll get you through here in just a second, hopefully.
He wanted to go on a racer's rant
from that ped. Well, Daniel started it.
Right? He got you going.
Well, I'm excited. I'm pumped to go. I'm ready to go here. And
that's funny.
Bill, sorry for the hold there. I missed you on my phone on the text. Sorry about that, buddy. How are you?
Not bad. How you guys doing? I just thought I'd call in. We're up in Topeka today for National Mustang Day. They're nowhere forward.
Ah, okay. Very cool.
So I just thought I'd give you guys a call. I think we got 4 or 5 of us from South Central Kansas Mustang Club up here.
Yeah.
Just pulling in, and it looks like they got a full parking lot up here. So,
well,
but just thought we'd call, give you guys a heads up, and say hello. And
well, and tell us about you're up there, but then we're ready to head to. When's your show here in Wichita?
July 20th is our 31st annual Mustang All Ford show.
Okay.
And then September 21st will be our all make model show and shine for passageways.
Okay. We'll be ready to go and help you out like we always do, Bill.
Sounds good. And I'll be out there this week to see you guys. I got to get an alignment Monday. So,
okay.
Anyway, just so we give you guys a call, give you heads up, and I'll get some pictures for you guys. And it looks like there's probably about 75 Mustangs sitting up here.
That's very cool. It's very cool.
Yep.
Because wasn't it April something when the Mustang was born again, 1964?
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. Yeah, I knew it was April something. Can't remember that exact
Yeah.
date when the 64
Yeah,
Mustang was
yeah.
introduced.
Yeah, it was introduced at the World Fair in New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Phil was probably turning wrenches back at that day.
64? Nah, it's just April. I wasn't around yet, Scotty. It was June of 64 when I came around. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't around yet either. So, but, anyway, I'm just trying to keep off of the exhaust. I got the O2 up here today with the rag top and the big Flowmaster exhaust on it. So it's just trying to keep it off the exhaust. I hear you guys.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Very cool.
But anyway, well, I thought I'd give you guys a heads up, and we'll get some pictures, and
Sure.
I'll send them down to you guys. And
Okay.
All right. That sounds good.
Bill, have fun up
All
there.
right,
Have fun with the Mustangs, buddy.
Yeah, be safe.
sounds good. You guys have a good one. We'll see you Monday.
All right.
Sounds good, buddy. See you, Bill.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Anyway, the Southwest Mustang Club here in Wichita, we always support their car shows and stuff and have fun with that. We always go to do the show there.
Do you take your Mustang out?
I haven't. They beg me to bring it out, but it never works out good. The weather's not good enough for me or something to get
It's
it
so
out.
ridiculous. This dude has the most premium Mustang, and it's in a bubble.
That's true. It is
Poor
in a
car
bubble.
never sees sunlight.
Oh yeah, it does every now and then.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hasn't seen it in a while. I will tell you that.
You gonna put me in the passenger seat one of
You
these days?
can. You need to go.
Okay. Deal.
I will tell you that is the funnest car I've drove of everything I drove in my life. Why I don't get it out more, I don't know. But I did block it in pretty hard this winter, so I wouldn't be tempted to get it out
Uh-huh.
if a nice day showed up or whatever. But
It's a beautiful car.
So anyway, hey, just got a few minutes left on the show. 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything alien car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything?
Speaking of tires,
Yeah, we got a teaser. We're going to tease you. Got a special coming, right, Scotty?
we may or may not have a tire special coming here pretty quick.
Teaser.
Mm-hmm. Keep your eyes peeled. But I mean, you want me to tell them what it is? You want me to hush?
Let it out.
It's probably gonna be a buy
It's
one.
not coming yet.
Yeah,
but
it's not coming yet, but
it's coming out shortly.
especially because that's another thing that we don't really talk about, especially when it starts getting really nice outside and the spring ends up happening. Guess what happens also? We get thunderstorms and rainstorms and with a lot of papa mau mau behind it. And so if you have tire issues where you're going to start hydroplaning, there will be a buy three, get one free sale that is coming right around the corner. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, that's
It's not in the month of April, is what I will tell you.
that's a good hint. Let's go with that.
Okay.
It's not
I looked it up on my phone here real quick. There's a cool thing coming on tires, and here's what I
Yeah.
love about buying tires from us. I think we're at 17 different brands of tires we can offer you. Maybe it's 18 now. I don't know exactly how many we got, but that many.
So the first time I saw this tire warehouse or the parts warehouse,
Yeah.
the first thing I thought was I can legitimately play a baseball game in here.
Oh yeah, you can.
That was the first thing that popped into my head.
Mhm.
That's how many tires we have in
Yeah.
this place. It's insane.
So anyway, we got that many brands of tires to offer you. So whatever your favorite one is or whatever, or we just priced one out and give you a good, better, best, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
When you go to a tire store, you might get 3, maybe 4 options of that thing. And it's just like the other day, we were looking at a Denali that was trading it out here, Scotty,
Mhm.
and it had the right size tire on it,
Yeah.
but that's it. The application of the tire was wrong. The speed rating was wrong. The load rating was wrong. And this is on a Denali. Okay.
Ooh, yeah, that ain't good.
Not good at all. So that's what you
No.
got to remember. It's not just the size of tire. And it used to be that's all you had. You just had one size or whatever. But now you've got a speed rating, you got a load rating, you've got all that different things that come into play that the manufacturers made that car designed to work with. And that's why we need to offer as many tires as we do
Oh boy.
to get you what you need. Free rotation every 5,000 miles, right?
Yep.
Road hazard warning is available.
Yep.
Nitrogen available.
Mm-hmm.
What the best part is, price match guarantee.
100%.
And even if you buy our tires from us today and you find another special 30 days from then that beats our price, we'll give you your money.
Yep.
And Scotty, what I'll ask you, and I'll put you on the spot. How
Great.
often do you do a tire match guarantee?
I have no idea. What do you mean?
Have you ever had one?
Oh, how often have I done one?
Yeah,
It's not very often.
that's what I'm saying.
It's,
So
it's
that's
not
why
very often.
if you price our tires and everything else in that part, you'll see that we're very price competitive in the marketplace of whatever branded tire you're getting from that part. So please, if you're needing tires, there's no better place to come and get our tires here at Mel Hambelton Ford. From that part, just a few minutes left. Scotty, anything else left or anything else from that part that might be,
Uh-oh, what?
Mike Sheridan's making fun of me again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look at that.
I
Phil,
like
not on his phone? Question mark? No, it's right here. It's right here, Sheridan. I got it. Gus makes me look up too much. So I got to keep an eye on my phone. That's why I missed those texts early in the show.
Oh, is
Let
that
these guys
right?
hanging there for so
just
long.
keeping making excuses. That's what he does.
I get it.
But no, I guess I'm getting ready to come up on 12 years at Mel Hambelton.
Can you believe that?
No.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane. Some of the stuff I've seen at this place has been absolutely ridiculously crazy. But when you were sitting there talking about tires and you were talking about that Denali, there was something that popped in my head that I'll never forget. And it was an all-wheel drive. I want to say it was a Taurus, maybe years ago, that came in and never been here before. And it was all-wheel drive, and they had different sized tires on the front than they did on the rear.
Ran into that many times.
Different speed ratings on the ones on the back.
Had it done any damage yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
The transmission didn't do so hot.
Yeah. I go clear back probably at least 17, 18 years ago on a Jeep.
Yeah.
That a dealership kept putting transfer case in and transfer
cases.
And then it finally got a differential, and the consumer got mad and frustrated and brought it to me. And as soon as it drove in, I knew exactly what was wrong with it.
Different tire sizes.
Knew exactly what's happening. So basically what happens when you put it different tire sizes on all-wheel drives, the fronts or the rears or whatever spin at a different speed, and it's got to break. Something's got to bind and something's going to give.
Yeah.
And guess what gives? It's either a transfer case or a drive line or a drive axle or something like that breaks. But that dealership, that repair shop kept putting parts after parts and parts, and all that was wrong with it.
Different tire sizes.
So that's also too. You have to go put one tire in all-wheel drive. No, sir. You're going to put all four on.
Yeah, it stinks, but you don't want a bigger repair later.
That's exactly correct. So anyway, Scotty.
Yes, sir.
Running out of time here. Everything else too, and it's been fun as always hanging out with me. Josh is taking care of a few things family wise and stuff. So he's had a passing of his uncle. So Josh, thanks. Sorry about that, and hope everything's working out okay there. Josh has got his family in town for a few days, and that sort of thing too. I was supposed to be in Kansas City last night, and I didn't go. So Josh is going to come in anyway. So I called and said, "Hey, me and Scotty going to do it."
Yeah, we're gonna rock.
We have a funnier show than what you guys would have had anyway, right? So. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let's run through real quick. Our sponsors, of course, is BG Products, all the great preventative maintenance products, and we've talked a lot about them here on the show today. If we talked about every BG product, we'd sit here for 8 hours, I think, and talk about all the products. Really could. Great products to help extend the life of your car. Remember, in your owner's manual, that is the minimum that you need to do to maintain your car. Get with Scotty, sit down with Scotty, build out a maintenance plan that works for you, for your driving conditions, because I promise you my maintenance schedule is different than Scotty's. And I'm different than yours. Let us sit down with Scotty and have him help you put down a good great maintenance plan that makes your car run many, many more miles and protect that investment. Big Corner Creative for all your advertising needs. As you see the logo up there in the top left, that's our advertising company down the street. Jesse has a great crew of people down there that does everything to help advertise your business, from web page designs, vehicle wraps, race car wraps, window tint, anything to help advertise your business. As Jesse says, and that crew down there he's got, just Google us. And, of course, Go To Rent inside here at Mel Hambelton Ford. We finally got a great fleet of vehicles over there, finally built back up through the COVID times. We finally got some new vehicles in that we haven't had in about 4 years over there at Go To Rent, so that's coming up good. So summertime is coming. If you need something like an Expedition, a 12 or 15-passenger van, give Stan a call right inside here at Mel Hambelton Ford to get all your rental needs and stuff like that, too. Any last closing comments or anything, Scotty?
No, sir. It was a good time.
All right, Scotty, thanks for hanging out with me. Everybody have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you again. If you want to catch up on Salt City Speedway, we'll have a 6 o'clock show next Wednesday on that. And don't forget, get to Salt City Speedway at the fairgrounds next Friday. Racing starts at 6:55, so don't be late. Fill the stands. Everybody, have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you on this show next Saturday morning, 9 o'clock.
See ya.